Welcome to Little Peas in Heaven Farm. I'm Cheryl, and tonight we're going to make ketchup. I went out in the garden and picked all of our ripe tomatoes. So I have them on the stove right now, starting to simmer. And we're going to get the rest of the ingredients together, and I'm going to bring you on for the ride on how to make ketchup. This is my first time making ketchup, so it's a learning experience for both of us. We'll see what happens. And I'm getting this out of my Amish canning book, and let me get that book and I'll show you what it looks like. This is the book I'm using, the Amish canning cookbook, and the recipe is on page 117 in the book that I'm using. So what I'm going to do is I'll bring you back when I'll set you up at the stove, and that way we'll get going on this recipe. Okay guys, I have my spice bag that I made up, and in that bag there is 4 teaspoons of whole cloves, 3 sticks of cinnamon that are broken in half, 1½ teaspoons of whole allspice, 3 tablespoons of celery seed, and that's all tied up in that. And I'm going to add 3 cups of apple cider vinegar to this, and we're going to bring it to a boil. 2 cups and 1 cup. So we're going to bring this to a boil. While our tomatoes are simmering, then they get some of the juices out. And most of the tomatoes that I've used for this is some of my Romas. I planted a bunch of them this year because my focus was on sauce and diced tomatoes and things. And I always wanted to try making ketchup, so why not? I make other condiments. I make a brown mustard and my yellow mustard. I will make a brown mustard video here soon. So I'll bring it back when this comes up to a boil, and we'll go from there. Okay, the vinegar is coming up to a boil. I'm going to turn it off and let it sit here and meld all the spices together. And the tomatoes are simmering. They're letting go all their juices. Okay, we're going to let these tomatoes simmer for 20 more minutes. And then we're going to combine the vinegar mixture with the tomatoes, and we're going to boil them for 30. And then we'll go from there. Okay, the tomatoes at a nice slow boil. So I'm adding in the onions. The onions were supposed to be added in a little while ago when it first started, but whoops on me, but better get them in. And I'm going to stir this down a little bit and let it simmer a little bit more for about another 5-10 minutes, and then we're going to bump up the heat and let it come to a boil. And I'm adding a 3/4 teaspoon of ground red pepper flakes. And then now we're going to add the vinegar mixture in. Give that a nice stir. And we're going to bump up this heat a little bit. I have it on 9 on my electric stove here. We're going to bring this up to a boil. And we're going to boil that for 30 minutes. And I'll bring you back then. Okay, the tomatoes are boiling now. So we're going to do this for 30 minutes. And stir every now and then. Make sure it's not going to burn the bottom of your pan. So you just can't walk away from this. You got to keep an eye on it. But anyway, I'll bring you back when we get to the next step. Okay guys, 30 minutes has been up. And it's reduced quite a bit. Here's the start line. And that's how much has been done, if you can see. I'm going to take it off the burner and get my immersion blender out. In the book, it does say to put it through a food mill. I have one, but I really hate using them. But I'm going to immersion blend them first and see how they do after I put the rest of the ingredients in. And okay. Okay guys, we're gonna put it back on the stove and we're gonna cook it down some more. I think it's fine. It just needs to be cooked down. The tomatoes I normally grow are pretty meaty, so we're gonna do that, and I'll bring you back when we get it back on the stove. As you can see, it's pretty thick for the most part. I mean, it is runny, but yeah, it's thicker. Let me go add the rest of the ingredients in. Okay, we're going to add in a 1/4 cup of salt. That's what's in this, a little container. And this is just regular sea salt. I'm all out of my pink Himalayan. And we're going to add 1½ cups of sugar. And stir this in. And it says bring to a gentle boil. So we're going to bring it to a gentle boil again. And we're going to reduce it down to half. So half of that. And it should yield 7 pints is what it says. So we need to reduce this down by half. So we got a little bit of a ways to go, but that's okay. It's only 8:24 here on a Saturday night, and I don't have no other plans to do anything, so let's make ketchup, right? Okay, I'll bring you back when we're almost there. Hey guys, well, it's getting thicker. I did add a cup of brown sugar in this and 2 cans of tomato paste that were 6 ounces each. It's still not thick enough. So what I'm going to do, it's getting late. I'm going to put it in my crock pot and have it on low the rest of the night until in the morning, and then I'll pick this up. Okay guys, I have it in my crock pot. I have it on low so it can cook overnight. Hopefully it reduce more. I'm going to put some knives on here to keep the lid ajarred. So we don't want all that extra steam in there. Hi guys, this is the next morning, and this turned out really nice. So we're going to get ready to can this up, and I'll bring you back when we have you over by the stove. The recipe calls for 7 pints. I pulled out, I believe, 5 or 6 pints, and then a couple little half pints to give out for gifts for Christmas. But anyway, I got the jars heating up in the oven here, and pull some out so we get this process going. This did come out nice and thick. Farron has tasted it and gave it a thumbs up. So that's good. So we're going to give it about an inch head space. In these jars. The house smelled so good this morning. But I made some adjustments in my book for this recipe that's in the Amish book. You might want to jot this down. We added a cup of brown sugar and 2 6-ounce cans of tomato paste, or 1 12-ounce can of tomato paste. And we stir that in, and then we put it in the crock pot and let it cook on low all night long until we got up this morning. It never hurts. And then always wipe your lids, because this is going to be a sticky mess, because it does have sugar in it. So always wipe your rims. I have vinegar over here. But yeah, this is something different. You know, like I said, I never did this before. It was kind of fun. And since we like it, I think it's going to be a staple. So I probably won't be buying any commercial ketchup. Okay, we're going to put our lids on. Okay guys, we're going to process these pints. I got 7 for 15 minutes once it comes up to a boil, and we'll get that going. So it's 15 minutes for pints, and they're boiling now, so I'm going to set the timer. And I will bring you guys back when they're done. Okay guys, here's our ketchup. They turned out nicely. There is 6 full pints, and then I have the 2 half pints. So 7 pints altogether. So they turned out pretty good. I want to thank you guys for stopping by the farm today. And I appreciate everybody. And I'll catch you on the next video. You guys have a great afternoon. Bye.